Hello, 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 beautiful people. Well, today I wanted to talk to you guys about. I've been hearing that Black women do not build a man up, they only worry about what a man can do for them. And we know that there is a narrative among the community where it seems as if Black women are not preferred because by their own um, men or by Black men because of the way that they talk to men, because of their mindset, how they act, and just not building men up, not encouraging men, and have this um, unrealistic mindset about what they want and desire in a man, instead of them wanting to find a man who is a good man and someone they can grow and build with. They want someone who is already have attained the world, and who is just perfect person so that they can just go off and live in the sunset and not have to do anything in order to help be a counterpart to that man, to encourage him. He has already have had to arrive um, before she's willing to even give him the chance. Um, and this idea is for women who is making a lot of money already, and she feels that a man who makes less than her is beneath her. And then there's also another set of women who they feel have this ideology, and she is the one who she may not be making that amount of money, but this is what she wants for whatever reason. And I I empathize with the women who are feeling like this is what they need, but I don't believe that is realistic. I understand that women really just want to feel safe. A woman just really want to feel like the man she's with is going to be able to hold down their household, can provide for her, can be able to give her the lifestyle that she's looking for. I get it, you know. Um, we have not come from a society or a culture where we've had that all of our lives. And so, because we've had to struggle, you're just looking for success. You're looking for a great life. And you feel that if I'm going to be with someone, I want someone who can afford me this lifestyle that I've always wanted since I was a little girl. And so, therefore, I want what I want, how I want it. And I feel like the only way to get there is that this man has to be making this amount of money. I'm not sure how many women have taken the time to sit down and think about the logic of that. I'm not sure if women have actually taken the time to see how realistic that is. I understand the world is very big. I understand that more people are making more money than what we used to, back in the day, what our parents and their parents have made. And so, we feel like there's so much money going around in the world that, there's no reason why a man should not be making 100,000, correction, 100 million, um, a million, $1 million or more. And that is an idea that is great. That is wonderful. It is, yeah, that would be a lovely thing. But the reality is, it's just not the way that it is. And so, we're not going to get into all of the statistics and the specifics of the hardships that men go through, because we're not trying to take up for men, but there is a reality. And instead of getting into the specifics of why it's not realistic to want to have to say that you are only going to get with a man who's making over $1 million. Let's talk about, in general, finding a man and being with a man and the type of woman that you want to present yourself as. What is realistic when it comes to dating. Men feel like women only want a man for what he can do for her. And I understand and I know that there is a divide in the Black community. I see it more there. That there is a divide, not saying that it's not going on everywhere else, but I can only really right now speak for, the Black community as it relates to this. And there is a divide among the men and the women where, they have an issue with one another. There's complaints on both sides. And what has not happened is that they have come together or have come up with the understanding that we just have not had taken the time to get to understand one another and to be realistic about what women are dealing with and have had to deal with and suffer through, and vice versa, what the men are having to deal with and what they've had to suffer through. And so, with this idea that women do not want to build up her man, I understand, that this is a thought. I understand that this is some people's perspective about women and relationships. And I think it is a valid one. However, it should not be the narrative that we should be proud of or okay with. And I don't think it should result with the attitude, oh well, we ready to buck back and defend or be defensive and start to say, well, what is the man doing and what he's not doing? No, I think that we all need to be accountable for where we are and what we're doing and be realistic about those things. And so, as a woman, I get it. We have suffered many things from the hands of a man. Women have not been valued by men. Women have been mistreated. Women have been made to feel like she's good for nothing but to get her in a bedroom or to have children with, or for a woman to just, take care of her home or whatever. I get it. I've not ever specifically been in that particular situation where a man has made me feel like I was only good for taking care of the household, but I have experienced many other things by the hands of men, and that is not have been treated properly, been violated by, and not been valued, felt like I was, was not treating as a woman of value by that man. So I've experienced those things, and I've experienced, decent situations, decent relationships as well, and the typical relationship issues, but nevertheless, I understand that this is a real issue. This is a real struggle that women have had to deal with. And, let's not talk about, or let's talk about it. That, one of the things too, that comes with mistreatment is that women have felt like they've been played, they've been cheated on, they've not been respected. There's a lot, you've been forced to raise children on your own because it's like the man just goes his way and don't even worry about taking care of his children for whatever reason. There's different reasons for why that happens, but nevertheless it happens. So women, I get it. Ladies, I get it. We have felt like, we're having to now fight back. Now we have to, you just have actually, a lot of women have just lost respect for men, and the respect is gone out the window. And let's not, this is another perspective as well, is that I think some women, you start to think about, you hear your girlfriends stories about their relationships and what they're dealing with men, or you hear stories that are happening around the world, and you start to see yourself in that same situation, even with just the little things that your man may do, the little issues, or the little, quirks, that he has, the thing that he may do wrong that annoys the heck out of you. And so it, in your mind, becomes a big problem, because here it is, you see other women around the world and in your circle talking about some of the different things that they're facing in their relationships. And sometimes, you kind of get misguided even with your own situation. So I think too that some women are dealing with that situation as well, is that because of all of the noise that's going around about men, and the men that your girlfriends are dealing with, or other women are dealing with, and here it is, now you have your issue, and maybe that issue is, is one in which it has been a challenge to work on. And so now there is this big issue, this small issue that becomes big. And so here it is, we have the ladies and men just going back and forth with each other. And here it is, women are, some women are just a little, have an attitude, snapping back, whatever. But, to have the mind, or to have, be labeled as not wanting to build up your man, and you're only wanting things to go, you're only worried about what can a person do for you. A relationship is about two people coming together and working together. Nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody's going to have it all. Nobody's going to have it all together. And let's just say this about the money thing. A person can be making and doing well financially today, but they can be down tomorrow. And if you're faced with a situation like that, what are you going to do? What are you going to do when you're in that situation? So to worry about being with a man because of the amount of money that he's making, or saying that he needs to make $1 million dollars, it is not wise, in my opinion. Now, do you want your man to, um, you know, work? Of course. Do you want to see that he is a man who um, is diligent in his job and in working? You know, that you want to see signs that he's a hard worker, that he's not a complainer, that he's not lazy, you know, that he is trying to do things even if he is not where he wants to be financially, but that you see him working towards a future. You see him trying to build his life. He has a plan and a vision for where he's going, and it's realistic. It's not about him, you know. I'm not even going to say the main thing that some people are having challenges with, because, you know, even that profession, you know, they can you know make it, but I can understand um, that certain dreams that people have, you know, is it a dream that is less likely to happen versus something that's realistic that you're working towards? Because the truth of the matter is, even if you have a dream to aspire to become something, you know, you want to still be working towards that um, in a manner in which you're still able to be responsible for what you are responsible for, that you're taking care of and handling the things that you are responsible for. And so, you know, nevertheless, also, when we're talking about aspiring to something and trying to um, get to a financially um, um, stable position, um, you know, you want to also make sure that, you know, what you're doing is, or what the person is doing, is something that's noble, is something that's, you know, that is purposeful, is something where, you know, not only that he's meeting, or you guys are able to meet your goals, but that somebody's life is going to be better as a result of it, and not being put in a position to where, you know, his dreams or her dreams or the things that they're aspiring to do is one where it can damage someone else's life. You know, that's not a realistic thing to aspire to do. So again, you know, I get it when, you know, there's a situation where a woman cannot, especially a woman cannot be comfortable with that, you know. And again, you have to know where you are. And if that's not where you are, then that's not someone you can be with. But if your man or the person that you're dating, your partner, your potential partner, he is aspiring, I'm talking about aspiring to reach a goal, and one that is also going to take you guys to a higher financial status and category, then, you know, why not? Why not partner with him in order to get there? Why not you come in and you offer and able to support him in the way in which, you know, you see where you can support, or the way that he needs to be supported. No, I'm not saying that it is your responsibility to come in and make his business or whatever he's working towards successful, but you should be able to support it in order to get there. Hey, we're talking about building. You know, there are some things that you may need to be supported in as well. And so, you know, it comes upon a time where you have to understand and know that it's not about just you. It's not about all what a person can do for you and what you can get out of someone. If you want something real, if you want something that's substantial, that's something that's going to last, something that is built on a solid rock and foundation, you can't let it be all about you. It has to be a give and take. It has to be a supportive system. It has to be something where you guys are working together. And my God, realistic. And you have to be realistic about these things, because just as I said earlier, a person can be up already when you meet them, they can fall. They can have a collapse. And then what are you going to do? And just like a person may only be at the $50,000 mark in a year, with their finances, they can go up to $1 million if they have a purpose, if they have a plan, if they have a vision, and they're working towards it. And also, if you don't have a plan, a purpose, or a vision, and yet you meet this man who's making $50,000 a year, and you're making your $50,000 or $60,000 or whatever you're making a year, and yet you want love, you want a family, why not be able to come together and establish a family where you are? You might want to be realistic about their family size because it costs, but nevertheless, it does not mean that, okay, you cannot make things work out just because one of you, because he's not making $1 million, and the women that you hear, they're saying they want to find a man who's making $1 million. Let's be realistic about your lifestyle and where you want your lifestyle to be, what you are trying to obtain in life. Because if you're not trying to do anything that is trying to help someone, where you're trying to, where you are working towards a purpose in your life, where there's a goal that you are trying to make life better for people, then why does it even matter that he's making $1 million a year? Why stay single and not find love because of an idea of what you think your life should look like, when you yourself are not even trying to do anything to make life better for someone else? When you're not, you're not operating in your purpose, and so we want to think about that as well. And so here it is too, you know, ladies, people need respect. The man needs respect. You need respect too. He needs respect also. And that's the thing, sometimes as women, we could be so focused on ourselves where we're not trying to think about what the man needs, because we feel like he's supposed to be this strong man who can handle any and everything. He should be able to handle your mouth. He should be able to handle, your attitude. He should be able to handle the stress that he feels when he goes out to work. He should be able to handle the pressures of life and be able to deal with it, and yet be the man and give you all what you want, when you want, how you want it, because it's what you want. And some women, sometimes we can have that mindset. And is it fruitful? No, it's not fruitful. And just because, you may be able to get away with it for the moment, it does not mean that it's going to get you what you are looking for. And that is a husband, that is a successful relationship. And so what you're going to do is continue to end up in these unfruitful relationships, in these unfruitful situations, and where you're not going to get what it is that you need or what you're looking for and what you want, in your relationship, what you want out of a relationship. So, ladies, again, just because times have changed and we should not be expected to be housewives does not mean that it is not your responsibility to take care of home. You know, especially if you have children. Your children should see you taking care of your home. Your children should see you taking care of them. Your children should see you um, cooking and providing and doing things that is needed to make sure that your home is stable, to make sure that your children are mentally well, to keep them in a holistic environment. And when you're not doing things necessary for to maintain a stable home where there's structure and where there is cleanliness, there's a saying people say cleanliness next to godliness. We know that is not scripture, but I like it, because we need to be clean. We need to, make sure we're taking care of home. And, a lot of, I've heard and heard situations where, women don't want to take care of home, don't want to clean home. Man, let me tell you, keeping house is not easy. It is not easy. Just because a woman does not work, it does not mean that she is not working, because it's work to take care of little kids, big kids, and take care of a house. And if she's working on top of that, oh my goodness, she is a powerhouse if she can do all of those things. And so, but it, it happens all the time. We do it all the time. It is so very possible to be done, and is necessary, is needed, and it should be done. So if you need to take a moment and figure out, how can I take care of home, take care of myself, take care of my children, and still be okay, then that's what you need to do. But it's necessary, and you should do it, because you want to make sure that your environment is pleasant, that your environment is good for you and your family, for you and your children, for you and your husband, for you and your potential husband, for you and if you get married, that person who would be that who is taking a chance with you just as well as you're taking a chance with him. And so the moral of the story is that as women, we don't want to allow this narrative that women are not trying to build up their men, their husbands, because at the end of the day, it's our husbands that we should be building up. We don't need to be building up boyfriends and potentials. We need to be building, our husbands. But that doesn't mean that you should be disrespectful and rude to the man who you're dating, who you're going out with, who you're getting to know, who's trying to get to know you, who's trying to find out if you are a woman for him. Still, yet, nevertheless, there are still some things that you can do as a woman in the dating phase to still yet let him know that you care, that you are supportive, that you're going to be supportive, that that you have his back, because you can't just wait to get into a marriage for and expect everything to all flow and fall together once you're married. There are stages, there are processes, there are things that are that you can do that leads up to there. No, it's not your priority, is not your responsibility to take care of a man, and he's not your husband. It's not. But it is your responsibility to be a good person, to be a respectful person, to be an accountable person. It's still your responsibility to let him see who you are as a person, as an individual, and definitely as a Christian woman, where you're not being looked at as a woman who is difficult, who is hard, who is dominant, who is selfish, who is uncaring, who is inconsiderate, who is disrespectful, and don't care about men. Because at the end of the day, just like it is expected that a man, no matter whether he's married or not, should have respect and take care of women, no matter the situation, it is also your responsibility to also be able to make sure that you are building up that man, whether it is simply just building up just by saying thank you because he opens the door for you. Just if he, if you could say, brother, I see you with your child, thank you for being a father, or just something just as simple as that. Or while you're dating, you acknowledge the good qualities of him, and the potential, the things that you can see, and are able to speak into his life, whether it's something just as simple as, you are a great person, you're a good person, keep it up, I appreciate you, or whatever. That's still something that you can do as a person, as a woman who cares and understands that life is life, and we are all doing life together, and it's no different for that man as it is for you. And so what we're trying to do is to build healthy relationships so that we can also have healthy children, healthy families, and healthy communities. But anyway, that's my piece on that. Until next time, be blessed.